Polk County has nearly 40 park sites and 11 mini parks that include athletic facilities, picnic areas, a historical-oriented park, and 5 campgrounds. Now, upkeep on all these amenities falls directly to the staff of Polk County Parks and Recreation. A community partnership with a local business makes sure that residents and visitors alike to Polk County can enjoy our parks. The program, the community partner, and their story is coming up on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio from Polk County Parks and Rec is Brandy Gray. Brandy is the Administrative Supervisor for Polk County Parks and Rec and Natural Resources. How you doing, Brandy?
Good morning.
And to her right is Mike Perkins. Mike is an Environmental Coordinator with TECO Polk Power Station. Welcome to Polk Place.
Good morning, Brian.
Good to see you guys. You know, I had the privilege to join you for the event we're going to talk about, but we're going to kind of back up. In the intro, we heard roughly 40 parks and 11 mini parks. Polk County Parks and Rec is limited with staff. So talk to me a little bit about how you rely on the community and community partners to help you know, the residents and visitors to Polk County enjoy such amenities.
Well, I think that, you know, everybody realizes that this is a huge county, you know, one of the largest in Florida. And I don't think they realize the amount of amenities that Polk County has. And we're, you know, constantly growing. You know, it's one of those things where we know we're short-staffed, but we want to plan for the future. So we do oftentimes try to get property ahead of time so we can develop it later. And that does, you know, backlog our staff a lot because we do have to maintain those properties. So, you know, with only 80 employees, that might seem like a lot to some people, but like you mentioned, with over 3,000 acres and, you know, 40 playgrounds and boat ramps and horse arenas and all of that, it takes a lot of staff and a lot of staff time to maintain those facilities. So we're constantly looking for partners in the community that can, you know, step up and help us in any way possible.
For those that have never been, Lois E. Hart Park is probably our showpiece. It's the jewel in the crown, probably one of the most elite facilities I've ever had the privilege to be a part of, be in. And when you talk Lois E. Hart, talk about some of the things that are there, because the day that we were out there shooting, I got introduced to a whole new section I didn't even know existed.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people, when they come into the park, they instantly go to the soccer fields or the ball fields. But that park actually has 2 different playgrounds. It has a dog park, and in the back, a lot of people don't know we have a mountain biking trail. We use that term mountain loosely here in Florida. But it's one of those areas in the back, it goes all the way around the park.
Let's just call them hills on steroids.
Okay. And it is pretty challenging, actually, a lot of times for the hills, as you want to call them. It's pretty challenging, and people enjoy that, and a lot of people don't know that it's back there. And if you've been to our Halloween event, we do take the hayride back in part of this area that we did the cleanup in, but we just touched the surface area on that. We don't go nearly as far back as we did. In the back of the park, there are boat ramps or areas where people can go out and go fishing, and that's the area that we decided to do the cleanup in, because unfortunately people do go back there and dump a lot of trash and stuff too.
So when we talk about this facility, there are many different uses, whether it's you know, sporting events or community events, or just people coming out and enjoying it. Like you said, unfortunately, there are some things that get left behind. I was amazed at some of the stuff you guys were pulling out of the water. But I mean, how do you guys go about going, okay, we're going to designate this day, this is what we're going to do, this is what we need to do? How does that work into it?
As far as the cleanup,
yeah.
Well, actually, Mike reached out to us because it's something that they were interested in doing and partnering with us on. This is our first partnership. It worked out really well. We got a lot of trash picked up that day. With, you know, it was an additional at least 25 people that were out there to help us that day. And it was just one meeting. We kind of asked what their interest was and what area they were ready to focus on, and we came up with the park cleanup. It's not, with Loyce Hart Park, with it being so far in the back, it's one of those things that it might be one of our last resorts or one of our last options to go in and dig out, stuff that gets dumped in the trenches, as you want to call it. And so we thought this was a great opportunity to go out there and get all that stuff removed. And, one day and a couple hours, we were able to do that.
As you said, fantastic community partners. TECO has long been a partner of Polk County, and from the power plant standpoint, I understand this is your first time working with Polk County Parks and Rec.
Yes, that's true, Brian. A lot of people don't know that the Tampa Electric TECO Polk Power Station is south of Bradley Junction, so it's pretty far down south on 37. And we wanted to be a part of the community also. So I reached out to the Parks and Recreation. We knew that Loyce Hart Park was there. A lot of team members at the Polk Power Station use that park for mountain biking. And we thought there might be an opportunity to help out. And then Parks and Recreation told me that they have this master plan moving forward, Frisbee golf course, other expansion projects coming up. And I said, well, how can we be a part of it? How can we help out? And Brandy had mentioned that they were having this Halloween event, and it would be a good time for us to come in there and maybe just help them clean up the park. So we focused on the boat ramps, the trail areas, and we were surprised at how much debris we pulled out of the ditches and off the side of the roads.
One thing that I want you to touch on, and I learned it from some of the folks that were with you down there, the residents of this county might not know it, but that power station is, as long as we're on a cleanup crew, that is one of the most clean, efficient burning plants in the United States.
That's true. We are a coal gasification plant. We're probably the cleanest plant in North America. We gasify coal, and that's the cleanest way that you can burn coal.
So I learned something new every time I come out, and I got to commend you and the rest of the folks that came out. How hard is it to get that many volunteers? I mean, it was a Friday afternoon, granted, but you guys had a few truckloads out there, and they worked really hard. I was really surprised at the amount of things that were taken out of the park.
Well, there are quite a few team members out at Polk Power Station that live in South Lakeland. They're familiar with the Loyce Hart Park, so they were anxious to volunteer and get out there and help. And then there's other people that live in Brandon and Valrico that don't even know the Loyce Hart Park exists. And now that they've been there, now they're interested in coming in and getting into mountain biking and using some of the fishing areas.
Mike, from a standpoint of businesses partnering with our Parks and Rec, if you could inspire other folks, that have employees that may want to give back to the community, inspire them to come out and help Brandy and the crew. How would you do as such?
I would just say this is just an excellent opportunity just to forge a relationship with the county and help and look at future projects as well.
Now, Brandy, if there are community partners out there that might not, say, hey, we have 2 or 3, maybe 5, maybe not as many folks as, say, what the TECO folks did, but if they could help out in any way, what are some of the things that they could do, and how do they go about doing as such?
We treat everybody differently according to what they can provide and what they can offer and what they are interested in. So we always are willing to be creative and come up with different opportunities. As you know, with special events, we're always looking for volunteers to do help us run, games or activities. And then we also do programming with our after-school kids, whether it be tutoring or activities. So we're looking for volunteers in that capacity too. If they're wanting to do a cleanup, we partner with Keep Polk Clean and Beautiful. And so if we need extra, staff or other volunteers, I'm sure we could partner with both of us getting together, and we could get a big group out and, go, clean another area. It just kind of depends on what their focus is and what they're interested in.
So no crowd too big, no crowd too small?
Yeah, we're willing to take anybody that we can. And we do have some stipulations as far as age. They have to be 14 years of age or older, and some things like that. But, the more the merrier.
Now, how do they go about getting a hold of you to see where they can fit in?
They can call our office, which I'm sure you'll have listed. It's 534-4340, and they can ask for myself. And Brandy, and if they are interested in doing a special event, I can direct their call. If they're interested in doing a cleanup, then we can set up a meeting and try to work something out.
And the best part about this is, with over 2,050 square miles within the Polk County community, we're not just we're not just asking for help here. There are places all over the county that Parks and Rec could use their help.
Absolutely, and I think that's what people, sometimes don't realize is with Polk County Parks and Recreation, we're servicing the whole entire area, the whole county, all the way, Fort Meade, all the way up to the Orlando border, way out on 27. We have a parkway up there that's very popular, that is pretty new as far as our parks go, and we're always looking for help, and we really actually wanting people to come out and do a multitude of things. And I don't think people realize that we have horse arenas and we have horse trails and we have a gun range and all the different amenities that we have. Sometimes they get confused with the city parks and recreation and the different amenities, but Polk County offers a lot of amenities and a lot of activities for everybody to get involved in.
And the beautiful thing about the parks, like Mike had said, sure, you're going out there to do the work, and then once you're out there, you got them hooked.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got them to come back out to the park, and that's what we want. We want people to get involved and realize, sometimes Polk County, people say, oh, little old Polk County, because we're in the middle of Orlando and Tampa, and I think they don't realize that the area has so many different things to offer and a lot of recreational opportunities, and that's a selling point for us. We get them involved in one way, and now they'll come back and participate or help us out in other ways.
Mike, I want to thank you and the folks from TECO, from the power station, that came out and gave of their time, gave of their efforts, and as usual, TECO, an outstanding community partner within the Polk County community.
Well, thank you, Brian. We're happy to be a part of the community, and we're looking forward to working closer with Parks and Recreation, and we're really interested in this expansion that you're going to have at the Loyce Hart Park. And
as usual, always a pleasure to see you too, Brandy.
Thank you for having me.
Don't be a stranger,
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. You were in for a while, you're gone. You're like Rolling Stones, blue jeans. You're in fashion, you're out of fashion. You come around, then you're like, I get a phone call occasionally. Hey, we're doing this. Can you help? Of course, yes. But always a pleasure to help you out. Thanks, Brandy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Hey, Polk County Parks and Recreation is looking for other groups to work together to clean up our parks. So now staff breaks up into groups and picks up the trash along the dirt roads, boat ramps, and trail areas in all sections of our parks. Now, debris included are plastic bottles, aluminum cans, tires, and even kitchen cabinets. Now, for more information on how you can help Polk County Parks and Rec, give them a call, 863-534-4340, or look them up on the web at polk-county.net.